Gentlemen, ever wondered where to find that perfect blend of style, taste, and affordability? Well, the answer is right at your fingertips. Menschafear.com.a shopping experience tailored not just to meet, but to exceed every man's expectations. Now, with that said, shall we dive into our topic of the day? It's story time. Today, we delve into the annals of history to uncover the top 10 most infamous Christians whose actions left an indelible mark on the course of human history. Starting at number 10, we discover Pope Alexander VI, a figure notorious not for his devoutness, but for his rampant corruption. Alexander was infamous for selling church offices to the highest bidders, a brazen display of his corrupt activities. It was nepotism, however, that truly marked his papacy. He was known to elevate numerous relatives to high positions within the church, most notably his own children. His personal life also held its fair share of scandals. His extramarital affairs and fathering of multiple children were public knowledge, further tarnishing his already questionable reputation. All these aspects combined make Pope Alexander VI's reign one of the most controversial in papal history. Coming in at number 9 is the infamous Thomas de Torquemada, the pioneering Grand Inquisitor of the Spanish Inquisition. As the first to take up this role, Torquemada left an indelible mark in history through his unyielding drive for religious uniformity. His reign was a period of intense religious intolerance, characterized by severe persecution of those who did not align with the Catholic faith. Torquemada asserted his authority not just through his words, but also through his actions. He orchestrated a brutal regime of torture, used to extract confessions and to punish those who dared to defy his religious mandates. Under his leadership, his followers faithfully executed a range of horrific torture methods. From the rack to the strapado, the Spanish Inquisition under Torquemada turned torture into a systematic, chilling practice. In essence, Thomas de Torquemada's reign as the first Grand Inquisitor set a merciless precedent for the Spanish Inquisition, making his name synonymous with religious intolerance and brutal torture. Securing the 8th spot is Oliver Cromwell, a figure whose devout Puritan beliefs played a major role in shaping his actions. As a staunch Puritan, Cromwell held an unshakable belief in the righteousness of his cause, a conviction that guided his military and political career. He strongly believed in the sovereignty of God and the importance of living a life of religious sincerity and moral rectitude. However, it's important to note that these same beliefs also fueled his brutal campaign during the Irish Confederate Wars. Cromwell's campaign in Ireland was characterized by unrelenting brutality. He led his forces through a ravaging rampage across the Irish landscape, decimating towns and slaughtering thousands of people. The massacre at Drogheda and Wexford still resonate in the annals of history as some of the most horrific acts of violence committed during this period. The legacy Cromwell left behind is inextricably tied to this violence. His actions have left an indelible mark on Irish history, casting a long shadow over Anglo-Irish relations for centuries to come. This legacy has been a source of enduring controversy, with Cromwell's role as a military dictator in Ireland forming a significant part of his historical reputation. The 7th spot on our list takes us inside the ravenous ambition of King Henry VIII. His unquenchable thirst for control, coupled with individual whims, would reshape history. This royal figure's yearning for power was not pedestrian. It was a relentless pursuit that took precedence over everything else. His personal desires, however, were not merely confined to his power-hungry tendencies. These desires extended to his infamous marital life, where he had 6 wives in a desperate quest for a male heir. The complexity of King Henry's desires was such that he was willing to challenge the very foundations of religion when they stood against his wishes. This defiance resulted in the formation of the Church of England. He severed ties with the Roman Catholic Church, appointed himself as the head of the newly formed church, and thus created a spiritual schism that was unheard of at the time. This decision was not merely a personal whim, but a political masterstroke that had profound repercussions. It irrevocably changed the religious landscape, creating a new independent church that would grow to be one of the most influential religious institutions in the world. The establishment of the Church of England set in motion a chain of events that led to religious reforms not just in England, but across Europe, forever altering the face of Christianity. As we move to number 6, we encounter the intriguing yet chilling figure of Reverend Jim Jones. Charismatic in his own right, Jones was a preacher who had an uncanny ability to captivate the masses with his moving oratory. His magnetic persona drew people in, and his persuasive sermons often delved into the realms of equality, social justice, and a utopian society. But beneath this affable exterior lay a man consumed by the desire for absolute control. Jones's quest was not limited to spiritual leadership. He yearned for complete dominance over his followers' lives. This unyielding pursuit of power would, unfortunately, guide him and his followers down a treacherous path. This path ended in the tragic event known as the Jonestown Massacre. In this heart-wrenching incident, over 900 people lost their lives in what was later revealed to be a mass suicide murder event orchestrated by Jones himself. In the name of loyalty and obedience, innocent lives were taken, marking an unnerving end to Jones's reign. This gruesome tragedy remains as one of the darkest chapters in religious history. Our 5th stop leads us to the notorious Rodrigo Borgia. Borgia held the esteemed position of Pope, yet his name has forever been tarnished by allegations of corruption. His papacy was purportedly riddled with instances of nepotism, bribery, and misuse of church funds for personal gain. Adding to this, Rodrigo Borgia's debauchery is stuff of legend. His love for luxurious living, extravagant parties, and rumored liaisons have left a permanent smudge on his pontificate. Lastly, his knack for political manipulation was something to behold. Borgia was a master puppeteer, pulling strings and making alliances to maintain his grip on power and influence the course of events to his liking. His reign as Pope was marked by a level of intrigue and Machiavellian maneuvering rare even for the often tumultuous Vatican politics. Number 4 features Emperor Constantine the Great, a significant historical figure who underwent a profound religious transformation by converting to Christianity. His conversion story is quite intriguing. It is said that before a critical battle, Constantine saw a vision of the Christian cross in the sky inscribed with the words, "In this sign you will conquer." Believing that he had been granted divine favor and protection, Constantine was led to victorious and subsequently became a staunch Christian. However, his conversion didn't mark the end of his ruthless rule. His reign was fraught with the brutal suppression of political rivals and dissenters. Among his most notorious acts was the execution of his wife and eldest son on dubious charges. Moreover, the cruelty of Constantine's reign was legendary. He was known to use brutal methods to keep his subordinates in line, and he did not hesitate to resort to violence if it meant retaining his power. His cruelty reflected a side of the Roman Empire that was often ignored, adding a dark touch to the glories of Rome's golden age. This blend of religious devotion, political ruthlessness, and outright cruelty makes Constantine the Great a complex and compelling figure in history. Claiming the 3rd spot is King Leopold II of Belgium, a ruler renowned for his ruthless exploitation of the Congo. Leopold controlled the Congo with a heavy hand and a complete disregard for human life. This vast Central African region, rich in ivory and rubber, was brutally exploited for its resources under Leopold's rule. The Congolese people were forced into hard labor, severely punished, and lived in deplorable conditions. The system of forced labor was so oppressive that it led to millions of deaths, a dark testament to the severity of his rule. The death toll skyrocketed as the Congolese people were subject to torture, disease, and starvation. The sheer scale of the atrocities committed by King Leopold II is a harrowing reminder of the depths of human brutality. In the 2nd position, we have Queen Mary I of England, a figure of historical significance. Born in 1516, she was the daughter of Henry VIII and his first wife, Catherine of Aragon. She ascended to the throne in 1553 and reigned until her death in 1558. Known for her fervent Catholicism, she was determined to reverse the English Reformation initiated by her father. Her zealous and ruthless persecution of Protestants, which included burning hundreds at the stake in a series of executions known as the Marian persecutions, gained her an infamous reputation. This led to the bestowing of the moniker Bloody Mary. The nickname, etched into the annals of history, serves as a stark reminder of her reign, marked by religious intolerance and violence. Lastly, at the top tier, we find Adolf Hitler. His relationship with Christianity is indeed a topic of intense discussion. There are several schools of thought regarding Hitler's religious beliefs. Some argue that he was a devout Christian, while others suggest that he only used Christianity as a political tool. What's unequivocally evident, however, is his manipulation of Christian symbols and rhetoric to further his vile and genocidal agenda. Hitler frequently invoked Christian imagery and phrases in his speeches, crafting a narrative that linked his cause to that of God, thereby drawing in the support of many German Christians who saw in him a figure for their aspirations. In this manner, Hitler not only led a genocide, but also twisted and perverted a religion followed by millions to legitimize his actions, which had an undeniable and catastrophic impact. The Holocaust led to the extermination of 6 million Jews, forever scarring human history. The aftermath of Hitler's reign is a chilling testament to the horrifying consequences when religion is misused for political gains, showing us the necessity of maintaining a clear line between faith and power. And there you have it, the top 10 most infamous Christians in history. Each of these individuals, in their own way, left a profound and lasting impact on the world, serving as a stark reminder of how religion can be misused for personal and political gain. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Time Travelers if you want to continue journeying through history with us. Remember, history isn't just about the past, it's about understanding our present and shaping our future. Thanks for watching.